Thank you all for coming. I'm David Cox and I represent District B in Raleigh. I have a word for the day, and that word is democracy. We appoint boards to help us manage things. When it comes to the big decisions about property that we own, the citizens of Raleigh, the citizens of Durham and Wake and Durham counties own, that is our property. And when it comes to making the big decisions, we have to rely on democracy, and we need to change this process. It is wrong for us to be excluded from this decision making on something that affects so much of our environment and our quality of life. Thank you for coming. Support those of us who are on the council and running for council, because we are the ones that are going to fight to protect your rights.
Hi, I'm Steph Mendel. I'm on the Raleigh City Council representing District E. We're in District E right now, and Umstead is in District E. I don't want a quarry in District E, and I don't think you do either. So we need to work together to make sure that doesn't happen. A lot of people are saying we're doing this for political reasons, that we're politically motivated. I started the Ecology Club at Broughton High School in 1970. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not going to stop now. So, like David said, this is the team that's going to do something to stop the quarry. If you want to stop the quarry, show up at the polls. Election day is October 8th. Early voting starts September 18th. I'm not making it political because of us. I'm making it political so we can stop the quarry. Yeah.
I'm Kay Crowder, District D. There's been a lot of controversy flying around in social media and in the newspaper that the city of Raleigh doesn't have standing. Well, that is false. At Tuesday's council meeting, our attorney made it clear that if the city of Raleigh wanted to join the existing lawsuit or their own, that we have the power to do that. We are your voice, and the system has failed us. We must remember that elections matter, and on October 8th, the four of us standing up there with hopefully one more vote, we can help stop this quarry. We need your help. Please, please help us all win so we can stop this quarry, because nobody wants a quarry next to Umstead Park. Thanks so much.
Well, good evening. It's great to be amongst so many environmentalists. So I appreciate you all coming out tonight. Steph's got quite a great record there with the Ecology Club in high school. So that's going to be hard to match. But I will say I do have a degree in environmental design from NC State. I'm a lead accredited architect. Shortly after I got on the council in 2005, we actually, it was the council of 2007. I was one of the councilors that signed the U.S. Mayor's Climate Protection Agreement to start committing the city of Raleigh to using renewable energy and reducing our greenhouse gases. So I've been endorsed 7 times by the Sierra Club, and I really appreciate that. I'm hoping for their endorsement again this time. That would be great. But in all my years on city council, this is actually a quote from the comments I made at the council table Tuesday when we tried again to intervene to oppose the quarry, and that is, in all my years on council, there's never been such a thoughtless and misguided attack on our environment. If ever there was a preventable environmental disaster in our backyards that was worth fighting against, this is it. So thank you all for coming out tonight.
My name is Sam Hershey. I am running in District A. There's a whole lot I could say about this. I know you're waiting for the movie, so I will be real short. There's only one candidate in District A that is realizing that we need to fight climate change and we need to do everything we can at the local level, and that includes stopping the quarry. And anyone in District A, I ask you for your support and your vote, and we can get it done, and I will be the fifth vote to get this done. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm Steve Rao. I'm a council member, town of Morrisville, former mayor pro tem, and it's great to be in the city of Raleigh. Let's give a round of great. Morrisville's in the house tonight. First of all, I just want to say that I want to give a shout out to our former mayor, Mark Stolman, who led the efforts. Mayor Stolman, thank you for leading the efforts in Morrisville a few years ago on Stop the Corruption. Our brand in Morrisville is live connected, live well. And if you ever come through our town, we're connected to innovation, diversity, almost every ethnic group in the world. But the greatest connection we can have is to our environment, to our greenways, to our parks. And yes, when I take my children, one's going to Carolina, started Carolina, the other one's in high school still, but when they were kids, I enjoyed taking them to the parks, to the greenways. It's so important that we keep that connection, not only in Morrisville, but in all of Wake County. Even though Morrisville, the town of Morrisville is not an owner of this property, we need to do whatever we can to work with Carrie and other Wake County citizens, and for the million citizens that live in our county that say that we have to stop the quarry and we have to ensure that we stand by our environment. Yes. I'll close with this. As a former top collegiate tennis player, I often felt that when I lost a match, the worst thing I could do is just if I stood there and didn't go for the ball. The worst opponent in life, no matter who's on the other side of the net or who is on the other side of the field, is apathy or indifference. So we have a choice. We can stand up and do the right thing and plow in like we are, and I want to thank each and every one of you coming, or we can just sit back and let the quarry go in there and lose our parks and lose our environment and lose our future. So join with me in the fight. Let's fight our opponent. Let's not be our worst enemy. Let's win this match. Let's be champions. Thank you. It's great to be in the city of Raleigh. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Charles Francis, and I am a candidate for mayor of Raleigh in the election, as Steph said, it's coming up on October 8th, 2019. October 8th, just 45 days from now. So I've been asked to come and give a few remarks about my position on the RDU Airport Authority, on the RDU Quarry. Before I tell you my position very briefly, I want to share with you what my thought process was in arriving at this conclusion. I think that's important because when you're electing city councilors or electing a mayor, what you're doing is electing people to make decisions for you, large and small. You can't be there to make every decision. So I think it's important for you to see what my thought process is and what process I went through. So in deciding where I was going to come down on this, I met with the Umstead Coalition. I met with the indefatigable, irrepressible, unsinkable Gene Spooner. Lawyers. I met with Isabel Maddox and Tex Barrow and other lawyers representing the other folks who were also part of that meeting. I also met with the executives of Wake Stone, and I took a tour of the existing pit, and I heard what they had to say. I also met with representatives of RDU Airport Authority. I also went and looked at the Oddfellows property 2 times, and my staff went out and observed it for an extended period so we could see what the patterns of use were during the weekends. And then finally, I actually read the legal papers that had been filed in the case. And I also heard from quite a few people on all sides of the issue. So after thinking about this for quite a while and in some depth, I have decided that the quarry that is proposed is not the right use for that public land. And I believe that the city can and should intervene in the litigation and express exactly that position. And when I'm elected your mayor, if the city is not taking that position by that time, then with the 4 representatives that you've heard from here today, we are going to intervene in that litigation. Yeah. Some of the factors that informed my thinking were, first, I am a property rights guy. I represent people in my law practice in eminent domain cases, and I take seriously people's property rights. This property was originally acquired from private property owners under the potential threat of eminent domain, and I just don't think it's right to turn it back over 40 years later to what is essentially another private for-profit use.
Yes, sir.
Second, the process that RDU went through in executing this long-term lease did not comply with state law. As I said, I've read the papers that your lawyers have filed, and I'm convinced that North Carolina General Statute 63-56F required the municipalities to sign off on the lease, and that has not happened. Third, I just don't think that a 105-acre pit right next to Umstead Park is the right use for the property. I'm a business owner and I'm an entrepreneur, and so I did carefully consider the business case for and against. And I am persuaded that for the knowledge workers of the present and the future that we want to attract to Raleigh, the best use of that property is some type of parkland that will expand outdoor recreational opportunities. It's not an elitist thing to say, because as the property gets more and more expensive in Raleigh, we need more city, county, and state green space for everyone. Two of my opponents have said that mayoral candidates shouldn't express a position on this because the case is in litigation. I don't agree with that. You all are actively engaged in it as citizens, even though the case is in litigation. I think leadership requires us to take a position on the policy issue. For example, all of us have a position on abortion, even though those issues are very much still in the courts 40 years after Wade. And so what we're talking about are the policy issues that are involved, not necessarily the legal questions. And so for all these reasons, as a matter of policy, I'm opposed to this quarry, and I'm going to work to stop it. Thank you very much.